How would you rate your performance? It was very competitive the entire way. You seemed to be happy to just sort of tuck in, not be aggressive early on, but then you did take the bit coming down that hill that Patrick lost contact, and it was you and Mo. Take us through, how did you feel about the performance?
I think I'm exactly where I need to be right now. That's exactly what I was looking for coming here, competitive race, stick my nose in it, and get ready for Boston. Hope Mo doesn't mind, but I was picturing him as being Murga out there, not Mo. So it's exactly what the doctor ordered, and yeah, looking forward to the future.
So it's 11 weeks out from Boston and 11 months plus out from the marathon. So this is not the time for any of us to be at the top, very top of our game, but you want to be in a position to just take that long ramp up to the intermediate goal on the way to the big goal.
Yeah, it was really cool being out there on the course, you know, like just getting a feel for it. And I was talking to Mo during the race, and I was like, this is what a marathon pace is going to be a year from now. So, you know, that would be pretty good for on 2:04 pace.
What'd you think of the course?
The course it's tough, you know, like I keep catching myself because I want to be like, man, those sharp turns are not much fun. And that's true, but you can also use that to your advantage. I mean, you get a good look at where everyone's at. It makes you stop and get going again. So if you're feeling a little bit tired, that's a good place to make a break on people who are tired if you're feeling fresh yourself, but other guys are starting to get tired. So, you know, you can use things like that to your advantage because there's not a lot of hills out there. So that's not going to, you know, be, it's not like Central Park. It's not going to run the same.
Talk about your wife Sarah at the Millrose Games last night. Finally crosses the finish line first instead of just barely second, as she had a tendency to do. The motivation that gave you for your race today?
Oh yeah, like Sarah's in really good shape, and I knew it going into that race, and that's why I'm really excited. We're heading out to Boston, and she's gonna race out there next week, and I'm gonna get on the course and do some work on that. But you know, I'm more excited for her right now than for me because she's really fit right now, and we're both kind of really coming on now, and I think, you know, with all the changes that have been going on, it's really been good for us, and we've learned a lot, and we've matured a lot as athletes through that. And you know what, like, we're living day by day by faith, and it's just cool to see the results of that.
All right, questions?
I want to talk about shaving. Had something to do with her wedding last night?
Yeah, I went to bed last night with a beard on, and I woke up and I didn't have it. I don't know what happened.
David?
So Ryan, tell us about the experience.
Microphone, David, right next to you.
Tell us about the experience now of coaching yourself. What's that like after having been through a very structured university setting where you had a coach and then again an in-residence program like in Mammoth? What's that like?
Yeah, I don't really feel like I'm coaching myself, actually. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but I'm going to anyways. I was just in USADA, and you have to put your coach on the line, and I put God on there. And the guy was like, I don't know if you're allowed to do that. And I was like, it's got to be like a real person. I was like, you're getting into a theological debate here. And he was like, I haven't seen that in 10 years. In the 10 years I've done this, no one's ever put that on the line. And I was like, I wasn't playing around with them. I was just being honest. Like, and not that I get it right, you know, because I've done workouts in this build-up. They were just stupid, and like, obviously, just like with any coach, there's communication issues that go on, and with God, maybe it's even harder to communicate. And so, you know, I've done some runs where I was like, that wasn't what, I messed up on my end on that thing. But, you know, the fun thing about it is, when I pray about my workouts, I feel like God's telling me, what are you excited to do? And what gets you going? What workouts do you want to do? Do you feel like you need to do? And so when I'm out there running, there's a new accountability to it, and I'm really liking that. Like, I'm doing workouts that I haven't done for a while. I'm switching it up, and when I'm out there, there's an onus to it. It's like, all right, well, this is a workout that I'm choosing to do, not that someone's written into a program or that someone else is making me do. So there's a new responsibility with it that I'm really enjoying, and like I said, I'm fired up going into every workout because that's why I'm doing the workouts, because I'm excited about them. So it's been a fun run.
Well, your high school wasn't, I mean, you ran in high school, but you didn't run for a high school team. Was it more like free form? I mean, it's almost like, you know, seat of the pants flying.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is like, I'm not just like randomly coming up with workouts. I'm having other people that I'm talking to. My dad, he coached me in high school, and I'm talking to him about workouts. I'm talking to friends and praying through workouts with them. Talking to Sarah, reading books. It's not just me just getting stuff out of the air. A lot of times I feel like God's putting on my heart to talk to certain people or read certain books. And so, there's still somewhat of structure to it, and I have laid out, okay, I need to do these workouts before Boston. These are big workouts coming up. And really I'm just starting to move into the heart of those.
Now, are any one of you three planning on what's the rest of your spring season look like? Patrick?
I'll be doing the New York Half Marathon March 20th, and then the London Marathon April 17th.
Mo?
I'm either going to do the USA 15K, I'm going to go back there to defend my title, or I'll run the New York Half Marathon for London.
And Ryan?
I'm doing another half marathon. I'm not sure if I'm at liberty to say which one.
No, but did you plan on more racing?
Yeah, I'm doing
before
one more
Boston?
half before Boston.
Okay, that's great. Back of the room there, Larry Eater.
Congratulations, guys. It was a fun race to watch. First question for Ryan. So tell us how did the beard get cut off? Was it you just wake up and decide that you
Well, how long did you have the beard?
Or someone sneak in your room and cut it off this morning?
I must have been sleepwalking. I had a habit of doing that when I was a kid. No, I've been growing it out since New York City Marathon. It's almost 3 months. So I was really debating about it, and I was getting so much attention from it on Twitter and Runner's World. And the people were comparing my beard to past people. So Sarah and I had a 15-minute conversation about it last night, and I was wanting to keep it, and so I went to bed with the beard on. I couldn't sleep at all, which is kind of typical for the night before a race, and so I was bored, and I just got up, and I was curious what my face would look like without hair on. And I was kind of sad in a way when I lost it, because I was thinking, man, it could have been epic for Boston. But maybe I'll save that.
Did you shave it down to any other form before you cut it all off? Did you play with it when you're shaving, or just?
All I had was scissors.
Oh.
And so I just took
my
scissors
God.
to it, and then it took me seriously an hour whacking away.
Pretty clean job, kid. Look at that. You don't look like you're all nicked up.
I'm sure I got some stragglers, but it was fun.
Patrick, Mo, ever grown a beard? No beard for Mo. Patrick, you look like you'd have a great one.
It's a little patchy. I don't know if I could pull off a proper one.
Ryan, what time were you doing this shaving over here?
What time of day? What time of night?
When were you actually doing this?
I was actually shaving at about 11 o'clock last night.
And you already knew that Sarah had won a race?
Yeah, I'd watched it. My parents and I watched it on television. I'd talked to her after the race. It was just really, I almost started crying watching the race. Not because, the Melrose Games is a big deal. Winning that mile is a big deal. But Sarah's been second so many times, and so many times. In college. And so it's kind of cool. She won that race a decade ago in high school, and now a decade later, she finally won it again. And I've just really wanted to see breakthrough for her, and I know it's in her. She's got wicked speed, and it just hasn't quite come out yet. And now we're starting to see it come out. And I don't know. I love to watch people break through in general. Whether it's Mo running or Patrick, his breakthroughs coming, because you can grab onto that and then taste that for yourself. And so just watching that almost brought me to tears. So it's very inspiring, the day before my race.
Did you call her as soon as you had shaved?
No, I haven't. I didn't even tell her I shaved yet.
So she doesn't know.
She might. I don't know if you guys had this flowing online or whatnot, but she's flying right now, so she'll get here. We'll see if she recognizes.
She'll probably be happy, right?
Women are usually happy when you shave.
So she's coming to Houston to meet you?
Yeah, she's coming right now, because we're actually, our foundation, the Steps Foundation, is going to be the title beneficiary of the Woodlands Marathon. It's going to take place in 2012. It's just getting going. It's a brand new marathon. And so we're going to do some kickoff events around that. And I'm also doing some expo appearances with Nissan, Master of the Shift, A6, and Aramco. So I'm also doing a signing with him. So I got to get to the other side of work after the race now.
Yeah, Larry?
Can I ask the guys what they thought of the course, one by one?
Patrick, what did you think of the course?
I thought it was a great championship course. It made for a great race, obviously, and I think it'll make for a great race next year. It's very hard to get away. You're always keeping tabs on people. It's easy to do that. You have to lose all the momentum that you got on those turnarounds, and can't really find your form, get in a good rhythm. But you know, it makes for exciting running, and that's good for the sport. You put Tony Revis on the commentating, and it's even more exciting.
Well, thank you. So when for you guys, you know, the women's race played out not dissimilarly from the men's race. Same thing, turned into really good competition on the women's side with the large pack coming down to 3, then 2, then Jen. So both genders, it turned out pretty similarly. Mo, what did you think of the layout?
I think it was a tough course. Like Patrick said, you can't really catch a rhythm, especially on the turns and the tricky hills. I thought they were hard, you know, because when you're running at a certain pace and you see a slight hill, you try to keep the same pace, and that takes a lot out of you. It's going to be tough for the marathon, you know, having to do 26 miles on that course. So we'll see if anybody breaks 2:10 or 2:11 in this course.
You'll be impressed.
Yeah, it'll be impressive.
Ryan, everyone's talked, of course, back in 2000, the last cycle, 2007, everyone talked about how the women's course was a nice loop, but it was along the Charles River in Boston, and it was pretty flat the whole way, whereas New York had Central Park, and it was going to be hilly and rough, and yet you ran that magnificent 2:09:02 with that sub-1:02 second half. And it was, I think you produced a faster time than a lot of people anticipated. What are the chances for anyone doing that sort of thing, based on your one look at this loop today?
Yeah, like I said, you know, obviously the character of the course is those turns. That's going to be the big thing people are going to talk about and prepare for going into the race. But you know what? Like, I think it's going to run quick. Like, Mo, I think it's going to take sub 2:10 to make the team. I don't know. I'm not like a prophet or anything like that, but I think it's going to take quite a time to get on that team, because it has a good rhythm, a good feel to it, and like it's pretty flat. So I mean, yeah, the turns slow you down a bit, but I think people will be able to find a quick rhythm, and I think it's going to run pretty fast.
But we saw in 2007 that it was a very slow first half. A lot of hesitance when the stakes are that high at the Olympic trials level. No one wants to be the sacrificial lamb, but once you get going, once it starts rolling, it can explode on you. Was that the nature? Was that the way it was today? Was it hard from the beginning, or was it sort of feeling out process at the beginning? Patrick, when did you sense? I mean, with that 6 miles, was that when the race actually began? When you made that big push?
Yeah, I guess that strung things out a little bit. I mean, I saw Ryan go to take a bottle, and to be honest, I sensed the opportunity to just try to get away from these.
Because it was a long way to the table. It was a pretty good fear that you had to make.
Sure. So I just tried to seize the opportunity, but it wasn't enough to get away from Mo and Ryan. You know, it takes something a little more substantial than that, but it strung a few other guys out. So.
And Mo, what did you think when Patrick made that move? Because not always you have such a definitive. It was obvious that this was no nonsense. This was not a fake. This was real. What goes through your mind? Okay, this guy's really no nonsense. He was second place in this race last year. He's a contender to win this thing. What do you tell yourself in trying to bridge that gap?
Well, thanks to his move, it broke a lot of guys. But for sure, I wasn't going to follow him. I was going to let somebody else take me to him. And Ryan and Jason chased him down, and I just followed them to catch Patrick. Yeah, that made us work harder than the first 10K. Yeah.
Ryan, do you sense that people will train specifically for this type of course? I mean, we always talk in terms of the Boston marathons, downhills being such a defining part of that marathon course, where you have to train your quads to be able to handle the downhill strikes. Because of the nature of these turns, where there could be some accelerations, you have to train specifically for something like this?
I think so. I mean, like, for example, and when we ran the trials at Central Park, like I know I went back to Mammoth and prepared specifically for the challenges of Central Park, and I'll definitely do the same. And there's a huge advantage now having raced this course and getting to see it. And when I was out there running, I was taking note of the wind and the turns and everything. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do some things where I'm doing tempo runs and I'm gonna be going out and back, and like having to stop in the middle of it and get my momentum going, and I'm preparing for those turns. But I mean, in general, there's no big hill work to get ready for. I think it's a good course for rhythm runners, and I think we'll be able to find a nice, quick rhythm and just be able to settle in. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting course to run the trials on.
Do you think it's a course which lends itself? I don't know, but it was difficult. The picture quality wasn't great, but I'll talk about the support, if any, along the side of the course. Is the course which lends itself to that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good out there. The crowd was good, and I think they can get around a lot. And, this is Olympic trials, and both the guys and the girls are on at the same time. I think we're going to get a really good crowd support out there. And it was good out there today, but you could tell, like, people were running back and forth, and they could see a lot of the race. So it's going to be fun.
Well, what difference does that make? You guys are performers. The better the audience, the better the performance?
Yeah, of course, especially the last half a mile. There was a lot of support. That gave us the extra energy to push and dig deeper, especially the last 200. When you see the crowd, and the finish line, and the noise, that helps a lot.
Great. Questions? With that in mind, Ryan, Mo, Patrick, thank you so much. Congratulations, and we look so forward to next January 14th to see you again here in Houston, Texas. Thank you.